What's up, Heat fans? Welcome into the Heat Report by Chat Sports. I am Nic Rohloff, where we are here for the final week of the Heat's regular season. 4 games left until we get to the postseason. Miami currently 10th in the Eastern Conference standings, a game and a half behind Orlando, Charlotte, and Philadelphia, who are all tied with the same record for the 7th, 8th, 9th seed. Miami starts this week in Toronto with 2 games against the Raptors tonight and Thursday before playing Washington on the road on Friday night and then finishing the season at home against the Atlanta Hawks. These 4 games will determine a lot. Miami still technically can climb out of the play-in. They'll need to go 4-0 in the final week and get some help. If they go 2-2 or worse, they're very likely going to be the 10th seed in the play-in and likely going to be missing the playoffs unless they go on the road to win back-to-back play-in games. A lot on the line in the next couple weeks of the season and the future of this team. So welcome in. It's going to be a fun one on today's show. We'll see if Miami can go on the road and take down the Raptors. Miami is 0-2 against Toronto this season. Both of those losses coming at home. That's why we have 2 games on the road against Toronto. Going to be fun one, man. Going to be fun. Shout out your city for me down in the comment section. Where are the real ones watching from? Shout out Thomas, I11. Appreciate everybody for hanging out with us. Big week for the Miami Heat. Heat will either become the 10th seed in the play-in, or make the playoffs and not even be in the play-in. I really do think if you look at every other team in the standings, like I said, Miami comes into this week 41 and 37, The Sixers, Charlotte Hornets, and Magic are all 43 and 36. I have a hard time believing that Miami is going to be anything other than the 10 seed or the 6 seed. Either Miami rattles off 4 wins to make the playoffs and finish as the 6th seed, or they go like 2-2, like I mentioned, and are the 10th seed. We'll see. What's up, Hot Dog? KBM in Qatar, Tyson in Miami. What's up, Demore? Appreciate you. Hoptown, Kentucky, JY Win, trucking through Missouri. We got a super chat. We'll get that on screen here in just 1 second. My guy Ruski's watching from Fresno. Shout out to Ruski. Over 50 people in the building. Big game tonight, not only for Toronto, but for Miami. The Raptors, 43 and 35, hold a half-game lead for the 6th seed. The Raptors are above the play-in line right now, trying to stay above that line and be the 6th seed unless they're able to catch Atlanta, which is unlikely. There's so much in flux here in the Eastern Conference. It's going to be very fascinating to see how things ultimately play out. Appreciate everybody for hanging with us. We'll get to those super chats when they come in. Here's the first one. Shout out Ruski. As I'm watching my Mets need a sac fly to win this game, by the way. Oh, that's going to do it. Ronnie Mauricio, baby. That's a Mets win. Sorry to spoil Ruski's super chat, but let's go. Ronnie Mauricio with the walk-off base knock. Mets win 4-3. That's enough baseball talk for the day. Ruski's $5 super chat. I'm torn over this one, Nick, because I'm a diehard Raptors fan, but I'm a Dolphins fan. Ruski, I got good news for you. Root for the Raptors. Why? I'm rooting for the Raptors. I've said this before. I'm sticking with it. I want the Heat to miss the playoffs, and I want the Heat to get the best pick possible in the NBA lottery. The gap between the Heat and the top teams in the East are just so wide. There's no reason to make the playoffs. We're going to lose in 4 or 5 games, and we'll have a mid-draft pick at 15. Instead, give me a lottery chance, whether it's 12 or 13, and then Miami can either get lucky and move up to the top of the lottery in the top 4 and draft a game-changing talent, or get an NBA lottery talent like LeBaron Philon, like Adai Mara, like Yaxel Lenderborg with the 13th pick. So I'm rooting for the Raptors tonight. Now, when I call the game, I will still get excited for the Heat, but in my head, I am still rooting for the Raptors to win this one. I hope the Heat go 0-2 against Toronto. I really do. They go 0-2 against Toronto. That's going to basically lock us in, I think, to the 10th seed as long as Orlando, Charlotte, and Philly all win one game the rest of the season. Because Miami, if they go 2-2, can max out at 43 wins, which means the teams that are already at 43 wins, Toronto, Philly, Charlotte, Orlando, just need to win one game to stay ahead of Miami in the standing. So go Raptors, Ruski. We'll showcase that super chat menu here in just 1 second. Shout out KBM, my guy. Are you better from the sickness? Yes, I am, KBM. Boy, it feels fantastic to not be sick anymore. Battling it last week, the Monday stream against the Spurs, or the Sixers, excuse me, and then the Wednesday stream against the Celtics. I was miserable. I think a lot of you guys picked up on that. Had a little bit of stuffiness, had a headache. That was disgusting. It felt awful. No longer feel like that. Got healthy. I think around Thursday night is when I started to feel back to my normal self. And yeah, we're just rocking and rolling here so far. So let's keep it that way. Let's keep it that way. L1 says, you don't think they can win? I'm out. Well, if that's all it took for you to say that you don't want to watch the stream anymore, then I don't think we would have gotten along anyway. Because if I say the Heat aren't capable of winning the NBA Finals, and then you're saying I'm out, I want more optimism, then this ain't the channel for you. I call it how it is. I am not going to be delusional. I'm not going to believe in Heat culture. We'll win everything. No, I'm going to say exactly how it is. And this Heat team isn't very good. And I would rather be in the NBA lottery than make the playoffs and have a meaningless series loss that ends up being 5 or 6 games, or 4 or 5 games. I doubt it would get to 6. So out on that. KBM, would I get mad if we got the 6th seed? Listen, if they rattle off 4 straight wins and get the 6th seed, power to them. I'll actually be happy for them. Do I still think it's better off if Miami missed the playoffs and was in the lottery? Yes, I do, because they would still lose to the Knicks in a playoff series in 5 or 6 games in all likelihood. Would I be happy they avoided the play-in? Yeah, because I just am sick and tired of the play-in. Just fuck that thing. I can't stand it. So making the playoffs is better than being in the play-in and then making the playoffs. I'd rather do that than be in the play-in. But I just don't envision Miami finishing the year 4-0 because Toronto playing for their lives to make the playoffs and not be in the play-in, and you got to play on the road against them twice, and you also play the Hawks on Sunday, who will likely be playing for playoff position and making the playoffs right in the play-in on Sunday. So I just find it incredibly unlikely Miami's going to go 3-0 in those games. They'll beat the Wizards on Friday probably, but yeah. Listen, I'm not going to play that game pineapple of real Heat fans know that missing the playoffs is what this team needs. I'm not going to tell people how to fan, and I don't think anybody should ever do that. That's something I truly do believe in. If you're a Heat fan that wants the Heat to win every game the rest of the season, make the playoffs, and go ahead. That is your prerogative. That is the point of being a fan. You want to see your team win. I think this is a rare case to where it is better off that Miami loses and gets a lottery pick because there's just no chance, in my opinion, that Miami can win a playoff series. And really at all, I don't think they'd beat Cleveland. I don't think they'd beat New York, Boston, or Detroit, who are the top 4 teams in the East. And that's who you'd obviously have to play one of those 4. So I'm not going to tell people how to be a fan. I don't think people should tell me that I'm wrong for wanting to have a lottery pick. And I'm not going to tell you you're wrong for not agreeing with me. It just is all about how you want to ultimately root for your favorite team. I think it's better off if Miami gets a lottery pick. And that's kind of where I'll leave it at that. I'll kind of leave it at that. But appreciate everybody for hanging in with us here on today's show. Before we get to Ruski's next super chat, who you got in this game? It's not who you want to win. This is who you think wins. Do the Heat or Raptors win tonight? Do the Heat or Raptors win tonight? The Raptors are 2.5-point favorites in this game. They are fully healthy. Immanuel Quickley was questionable for this game. He is active. Miami without Nikola Jovic. Norman Powell is back for the Heat tonight. He is coming off of the bench. It looks like most people in the chat rocking with the Heat to win tonight still. I see Miami, 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 Miami. 76% of our live poll, by the way, is going with the answer of yes. Because I said I want the Heat to lose and get a lottery pick. I'm curious. I asked the poll, who you got, or who do you want the Heat to win or lose? And 77% answering yes. So most fans still want the Heat to win. Power to you. But most people go with Miami. Ruski going with Toronto. Cooper Super Chats to get to here. How am I doing, Alfonso? I'm doing good. How are you doing? Good day. Should be a good game, hopefully. Hopefully it's not a blowout in any direction. And, yeah. Oh, how about this? You know how I said the Heat have to win out to avoid being in the play-in? I didn't know this. The Heat actually are locked into the play-in with a loss tonight. I did not. Oh, that checks out because if they lost tonight, they'd be 41-38. Toronto would be 44-35. You'd be 3 games back at Toronto, and you'd be down 3-0 to Toronto in the season series. So it'd be impossible to pass them. Yeah, so yeah, the Heat with a loss tonight are clinching the play-in. Doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me one bit. We're play-in losers, man. I'm just sick of it, man. I just really am. Like, I'm sorry, like, that I am a little bit of a negative Nick right now in terms of wanting to be in the lottery rather than the playoffs, but the last couple seasons just scarred me personally. Like, just being, we've been in the play-in 3 straight years. Like, I just don't want to deal with it anymore. I really don't. Really don't. Done with being mid. Want to be either good or want to be bad. Done with being mid. Because when you're mid, it's hard to really get out of being mid. You know what I mean? You have to somehow make a blockbuster trade, which could happen. You never know. Or you have to get lucky and draft like a Jalen Johnson, which the Hawks did, at pick 20. And now this guy's a all-star, all-NBA level wing who has been the number 1 option alongside Nickeil Alexander-Walker on that Hawks team that has been the best team record-wise since the All-Star break in the Eastern Conference. So you either got to make a blockbuster trade or hit on a crazy lottery or pick in the middle part of the draft, and that's more unlikely than obviously having a top 10 pick or a lottery pick. Ruski with a $5 super chat. Lotto is rigged. Your team deserves a top 5 pick, but instead you get a top 20 pick. So effing rigged. Well, Ruski, there are rules in place. Like if you have top 3 lotto odds, I don't think you could fall lower than 6. So there are like ranges. Like Miami, if they finish 13th in the lottery order, they either are going to have pick 13, 14, or 1 through 4. Like Miami can't move up to pick 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You either move into the top 4, get number 1, or you end up getting passed and you have your 13th or 14th pick. So it's different. But if any team deserves the lottery to be rigged for them, it's Miami, considering the Terry Rozier debacle that the NBA and Hornets put us through. And we are an ethical team that refuses to tank, so we should be rewarded in the NBA lottery by moving up. And we have gotten, I'm not even asking for the number 1 pick. I just give me top 4. Give me Caleb Wilson, Boozer, DeBanstar, Peterson. Give me an opportunity to draft one of those 4. And over the last 2 years, back-to-back teams picking double digits got the number 1 pick. 2 years ago it was the Hawks. They were at, I think, 10th in the lottery, and last year was the Mavericks at 11. So, certainly possible move up. KBM with a $10 super chat from Qatari. 36.99 Qatari, $10 US. If the NBA expansion draft started today, which 8 players would you protect? So, obviously, expansion likely coming 2029. And I've made this point to where I think it's dumb to talk about it because the players Miami would have to protect in that time frame probably aren't even on the roster right now because the only people Miami has under contract for the 29-30 season right now is Jakučionis, Bam, and Jovic. So it's kind of hard to project who's even going to be someone to protect. But because you sent in a $10 super chat, which I greatly appreciate, we are going to answer the question. And if you look at the Heat's roster right now and gave me top 8 to protect, it would be Bam. It would be Kel'el Ware. It would be Jaime Jaquez. It would be Pelle Larsson. It would be Kasparas Jakubonis. It'd be Andrew Wiggins. That's 6. I would choose Tyler Herro, probably 7. And then I guess Davion Mitchell. I'm letting Norman Powell go. I'm letting Nikola Jovic go. So the guys that I'm not protecting, Norman Powell, Jovic, Gardner, Kashad Johnson. Obviously, Rozier's technically on the roster. That's 13. Who's the one other guy I'm missing? Oh, Drew Smith. Those are the 5 guys I'm not protecting. Not protecting them. So that's who I'm keeping. If I had to. Now, obviously, Norman Powell's a free agent, so that becomes a little bit of a complication. But if you're asking me 8 people out of the 14-man Heat roster that I'm keeping, it's those 8. I mean, you say Rozier's not even on the team no more, but he technically is. Like, if you look at the roster, we have 14 guys under contract. Rozier's one of them. So, yeah. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up icon. If you're ready for the game to begin, we are about 9 minutes away from getting tipped off in the 6th. First time Miami's made the trip to Toronto this year. Both matchups prior this season between Miami and Toronto were in the Heat's building. In those games, Miami really struggled to score 93.5 points average in those 2 games. Miami's 4 lowest games of the year scoring this season, 2 of them against Toronto. So He'd have had a hard time scoring against this Raptors defense. They're very versatile. Jakob Poeltl, Collin Murray-Boyles, Scotty Barnes, Brandon Ingram. Ingram and Barnes played really well against Miami the first 2 times they played. We'll see what happens tonight. The Raptors are pretty much fully healthy. Immanuel Quickley, Collin Murray-Boyles, Sandro, all were game-time decisions, all playing. So both teams pretty healthy. Miami obviously no Nikola Jovic, but he's kind of out of the rotation anyway. Norman Powell, after missing the last 4 games, available. Tyler Herro missed Saturday's game due to a personal reason. He is available for tonight as well. So healthy squads. 130 people watching. We got to get to 50 likes. Come on. This is a joke. Let's get to 50 likes ASAP. 50 likes ASAP. Come on. Not getting the 50 likes with 130 people watching is crazy. It's crazy time, man. Help me out. Help me out. Let's get to 50 likes. If you're ready for the game to start. National Anthem's being performed right now, so about 5.5, 6 minutes away. $25 likes. We're continuing to climb. Come on. Appreciate you, Codemaster. 34, 16 likes away. 16 likes away. We got some super chats. Our super chat menu for tonight's stream, $5. We do a wheel spin, $10, 10 push-ups, and a $20 super chat gets you into the Hall of Fame. Get your name on the back of our Miami Heat board, and then we take a shot to celebrate. So far, we got, I think, 3 $5 super chats and then a $10 super chat. So we got 10 push-ups amongst other things, amongst a couple of wheel spins. So while we get ready for today's game, continue to hit that thumbs up icon. I'll do a couple wheel spins, and then we'll move on with our pregame portion of the live show. Here's our wheel here, a bunch of goodies on it. First wheel spin. Spin again. Spin again. We're going to remove that and spin. 5 push-ups. Now the total is to 15 push-ups. Couple more wheel spins. Oh, I forgot to take one thing out of here. Unfortunately, got to take the beer bong out of the wheel because don't have any beer here. We got to get a refill. That's why we got the tequila. Oh my, are we going to get more push-ups? No, it's a shot. One more wheel spin. So right now the wheel's been fortuitous to the viewer. Usually we got stuff that I got to do, you got to do. Right now, 5 extra push-ups. Oh my Lord. Now we got 25 push-ups. 25 total push-ups and a shot is what is on tap here in our pregame. While I get some of the push-ups set up, continue to hit that like button, but also answer this. If you are a Heat fan, do you want the Heat to win tonight? Because I know some people are on my side of wanting the best possible draft pick because of the state of this Heat roster being a little mid, but I know some people want the Heat to win. Let me know which side you're on. Do you want the Heat to win? Y for yes, N for no. It's also our live poll. And while we do that, I'm not going to do all 25 push-ups right now, but I'll knock some of them out. We got to do 25 push-ups here over the course of our live show. We'll start by doing a couple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll start just by doing an easy 10, and then we'll do probably some more in the first time out. We got to space them out so we got more entertainment. Can't do all of them now. That would be boring. That would be boring. KBM says yes, but if we lose today, he wants to lose out. So KBM's holding out hope to make a run to the playoffs and be the 6th seed. That's got to happen tonight with a win. Like, Miami is eliminated with a loss from being in the playoffs. Unless, let me rephrase this. If the Heat lose tonight, they are locked into the play-in no matter what. Like, they can't be a top 6 seed if they lose tonight. So, Miami certainly playing for their playoff lives in all technicality. They can obviously still make the playoffs if they win either 1 or 2 games in the play-in, but they would be in the play-in no matter what with a loss tonight. Couple minutes away from getting tipped off in the 6. Starting lineup for the Miami Heat tonight as we get ready for the game. Let me know who you got. But also, if you're ready for the game, spam those bees! Spam those bees if you're ready for the game, like I mentioned. I got to change a setting here. Give me a second on the stream. There we go. KBM's ready. Slaying Cat's ready. Hot Dog's ready. Let me end that poll. Who you got, Heat-Raptors? I think the Heat, they're starting a lineup tonight. It is going to be Davion Mitchell, Tyler Herro, Pelle Larsson, Andrew Wiggins, and Bam Adebayo. For the Toronto Raptors, I believe it's going to be Immanuel Quickley, RJ Barrett, Scotty Barnes, Brandon Ingram, and Jakob Poeltl. They've been starting Jacoby Walter, the former first-round pick out of Baylor, in the backcourt with a Quickley out. I believe they will go back to Quickley in the starting lineup since he is available to play tonight. We'll see if that's true or not. But We got J.Y. Wynn fired up for tonight's game. Tennessee's fired up for this game. Jakai, Sweaty, Codemaster. A lot of people in the building. Couple super chats that we'll get to here in just a second. Game is about to start, though. So we will wait till the first time out to bring the super chats back up. I was correct. Immanuel Quickley is in that backcourt to start tonight's game as he is back from injury, and Jacoby Walter will come off of the bench. Toronto wearing white unis tonight. The Heat going with their black Miami Vice unis on the road. How about that? But with the game about to get started, who you got? Get that final vote in. Get that final vote in. Get that final vote in. Ruski's going with Toronto. 85% of our live poll is going with the Heat. So still a lot of confidence in this Miami Heat squad despite the rough season to this point. And I can't even say it's that rough. I mean, it's not great, but it's not the worst. Like, they've won 43. They're a better team than they were last year. That's for sure. But still not good enough to avoid the play-in. They got better from last year, but not good enough to avoid the play-in. Full year of Wiggs. The Norman Powell edition, full year of Davion Mitchell, all better than the disastrous season a year ago with the Jimmy Butler debacle and trade. Tip is up. Tip is won by the Toronto Raptors. They will start with the ball. Brandon Ingram guarded by Andrew Wiggins, and Ingram gets immediately to the rim and finishes. Just poor defense for Miami to start this one. Shocker. RJ Barrett guarding Larsson, battle of nines. Bam sees a couple defenders, swings it out, gets it back. Bam attacking at the elbow. Podol, definitely not as athletic as Bam. Adebayo swings to the corner. It's Davion Mitchell running floater. We're tied up at 2. Raptors 21-17 at home this year. Brandon Ingram with a pretty spin, step through, air ball, but it goes right to Jakob Podol, who puts it back up and in. That was a pretty move by Ingram. I can't believe he airballed that. Bam with a pump fake drive. Foul. Are they going to say in the act of shooting? See what the officials declare here. Still no clarity on if they said that was in the act of shooting or not. Looks like it'll be side out. So not in the act of shooting from Bam Adebayo. Another quick foul as Larsson put his head down trying to drive to the rim. RJ Barrett picks up his first foul of the night. So another side out set here for Miami. A minute into this one, the Raptors got 2 fouls already. Larsson on the right wing, driving, drop off, ball loose. Herro saves it from going out of bounds. Now attacks, kicks. It's a Davion Mitchell 3, and the ex-Toronto Raptor can't knock it down. Offensive rebound, Andrew Wiggins, thrown and tipped out of bounds by Toronto. So a wild kind of sequence there. Miami will come away with the ball. Larsson driving, Euro stepping, kicking. It's a Bam pump fake. Step back 3 over Podol. Comes up short. First shot of the day for Bam. Brandon Ingram dribbles it off his own foot and then throws it out of bounds. Brandon Ingram on back-to-back possessions, air ball turnover. Wiggins attacking Brandon Ingram on the baseline, and he throws it away. So sloppy basketball here over the last minute. Quickly the other way, Scotty Barnes doubled. It's kicked out to Quickley. Top of the key 3, too strong. Rebound Herro, outlet Davion Mitchell. Mitchell, room service layup. Davion Mitchell with the first 4 points for Miami. Podol on the wing. Lobs it to Barrett, who's able to catch it and put it home. That was a really good pass from Podol. Quickley defending Herro. Larsson driving on Barrett. His running bank floater can't fall. Quickley the other way. Finds the trailing Barrett. Barrett attacks. Back to Quickley. Drop off Podol. Kick to the corner. It's a Barnes triple. And Scotty Barnes tees up the tray ball. He's on the board for the first time tonight. Wiggins almost turning it over for a second time. Instead, Davion Mitchell left open for three again. Mitchell misses another three. That's 0 for 2. Beyond the arc, Davion Mitchell. Raptors with an early 9-4 lead. Barrett can't finish on the lefty hook shot. He'd have numbers if they push. They do. Larsson to the rim. Hangs, but can't finish. Miami 2 of 8 shooting to start this one. Raptors slow it down. Brandon Ingram attacks. Crossover. Drive. Bump. Up and under. Foul. And one. Tyler Herro getting picked on there by Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram now with 5 points. Pending this free throw. Just a pro scorer. He came into this league out of Duke as a scorer. Still a scorer. "12-4 Raptors lead. Bad start for Miami, just unable to knock down any shots. Davion Mitchell dared to shoot again. This time he makes them pay. That's 7 first quarter points for Davion Mitchell. He's got all 7. Raptors just forcing him to take almost every shot on this end. Scotty Barnes attacking, bodying up Wiggins, missing the floater, but a late whistle, and Barnes is going to head to the line. Second foul on the Heat, first called on Wiggins. Certainly was a foul. You could argue that Barnes maybe pushed off on Andrew Wiggins, though, but Wiggins did get the forearm of the all-star level forward Scotty Barnes, former top 5 pick out of Florida State. Barnes gets the friendly roll as Jamal Shed, the former Houston Cougar, checks in, quickly takes a seat. I labeled Jamal Shed as a Heat target in the second round a couple of years ago. Miami obviously came away with Pelle Larsson. Very happy with that. But Shed actually reminds me a lot of Davion Mitchell. I actually think I comped him to Davion Mitchell when I was scouting. The two guard each other here, and Davion turns it over, throws it away. Brandon Ingram with a steal. Ingram in transition, driving, and foul called on Mitchell, reaching in from behind. So now 3 fouls on Miami in this first period. He'd have just been sloppy offensively. Couple turnovers. Nobody's made a shot outside of Davion Mitchell. Jamal Shed working inside, resets it to Ingram. They get to Scotty Barnes. Barnes doubled. Barrett on the backdoor cut, missing the layup. Bam with the rebound. Adebayo pushing. The Raptors really packing the paint on Miami. Forcing the Heat to take jumpers right now. Larsson will take a corner 3 and make the Raptors pay. So finally, someone gets on the board outside of Davion Mitchell. It's Larsson, Heat's second 3. And we're going to have a timeout called by the Toronto Raptors, an early 14-10 lead for Toronto. Heat looking to get a win and stave off playoff elimination, if you will. Miami is unable to make the playoffs without going through the play-in with a loss tonight. Couple super chats we got to get to. Shout out Ruski. Should Jason Marshall Jr. play for the Heat? Listen, JMJ, hopefully he's got a better year coming than we saw last season, right? That's the goal. Better year than last season. Had a couple moments late, but overall down year for a rookie. Let's see if he can earn a starting job this season. Shout out Bryce. The last 3 years since 2023 Finals appearance has been rough. I mean, listen, 2023 Finals appearance, that year was obviously impressive. And then you come off that season, think you're going to trade for Damian Lillard. Doesn't happen. Tough, man. It was extremely disappointing. And now back-to-back years of really, really poor play, right? So, really tough, man. Really, really tough. Appreciate the $5 super chat. Said pick a route, young guys, or make a power move. We'll see what Miami does. Probably stay in the middle, unfortunately. Wasim Khan with a $2 super chat. Appreciate you, Wasim Khan. First time out of the game. Hit that thumbs up icon. If you're having fun tonight, we have 15 more push-ups that we owe from our pre-game super chats. We'll knock out another 10 here during our first time out, but hit that thumbs up icon if you haven't already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I guess we should just do the other 5 too, right? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right. All caught up on the push-ups. All caught up on the push-ups as we return here in the second quarter. Heat struggling with their shot. 4 of 10. Couple turnovers too. Sloppy. Sloppy, sloppy, sloppy. Hit that thumbs up icon, though. Whoa, didn't mean to do that. All right, just had to do something on my computer. We're back here, 14-10. Jakob out of the timeout, missing a push shot. So Heat looking to draw closer. Wiggins from the corner can't knock it home, playing in his home country. Andrew Wiggins from Canada. Remember, coming out of high school, they called him Maple Jordan. The former number 1 pick after a stellar freshman campaign at Kansas. Offensive foul, Brandon Ingram extending that off arm on Davion Mitchell, going the other way. Hell yeah, Team Revis, hell yeah. (14-10), Davion Mitchell to the rim, finishing again. 9 points for Davion Mitchell. And the Heat are down 2. Looks like Miami going to a zone defense for the first time. Collin Murray-Boyles into the game. And Jamal Shed throws it right over his head out of bounds. So a turnover. Raptors make a couple subs. It doesn't lead to any success. And now Miami has a chance to tie or take the lead. Kobe Walter in, former Baylor Bear, guarding Tyler Herro. Still no substitutions for Miami. Herro to the rim. Stopped, kicks it out. It's Wiggins. One more to Larsson. His three-pointer falls flat. Rebound, Murray-Boyles. Ware and Hawkes set the check in. Next dead ball for Miami. And Jamal Shed, with his second straight turnover, just dribbled it out of bounds. Good defense that time by Tyler Herro. sliding his feet, staying in front, and forcing the TO on Shed. That's good defense from Tyler. Not often can we say that. 4th turnover for Toronto already. Herro, driving, floater. It goes. So how about that sequence from Tyler Herro? Adebayo and Larsson out. Jaquez Ware in. 7-0 Heat run to draw even in this one. Brandon Ingram, pull-up 3, no. Jacoby Walter, offensive rebound, kick out. And Ingram makes the second. Ingram now with a team-high 8 points. Five minutes to go here in the opening quarter. Davion Mitchell, the leading scorer in the game, swings at the Herro. His 3, no. Jaquez offensive rebound, finding a cutting Herro. Kicked out to Wiggins, and he drains the triple. And we're even once again. 3rd 3 for Miami. Toronto 2 of 4 from deep. Miami 3 of 9. Shed, drive, drop off, Podol, bucket. Wiggins to the rack. Whoa, tough finish. Andrew Wiggins over Brandon Ingram. That's 5 straight for Wiggs. Jamal Shed quickly the other way. Can't answer. Bodies hit the deck. Herro with the loose ball. Miami running. Davion Mitchell, crossover to the rim. But misses the lefty high arcing shot. Shed to the paint. Kick out. Walter. He can shoot it. Too strong that time. Good box out, Pelle Larsson. Oh, that's a foul. No call. Herro gets by the contact. Drop off Jaquez. And Miami back in front, 21-19. Timeout on the floor. Miami leads 21-19. Miami down 14-7 on a 14-5 run. Raptors need a timeout. Spam those fireball emojis. Spam those fireball emojis. Shout out Makai, Kane Angel, Pineapple, KBM. Jacob Gala, Wasim Khan. Chat's on fire. I love it. Chat's on fire tonight. What's up, Nate Rod? See here early in this one, Davion Mitchell has been the story with a game-high 9 points. Raptors have dared Davion to shoot a lot, and he has been willing to take the shots, but more importantly, he is making them. Heat has a team here winning the turnover battle, tied up in the rebounding battle. Making and taking more threes. They're highlighting Jaime's weekend here. Saturday played the Wizards, flew to Phoenix for the UCLA National Championship game. Congrats to the women Bruins team for taking down South Carolina for the title. Jaime Jaquez's sister Gabriella played for the Bruins. Flew back to Miami for the practice on Monday before coming to Toronto for this game on Tuesday. 21-19, Heat lead, 3:40 to go in quarter number 1. Brandon Ingram inside, double teamed, finds Collin Murray-Boyles, who misses the shot inside. And then a foul is called on Norman Powell, who just checked in on the back of Murray-Boyles early. What's up, Jordan? Where can you watch the game, Jacob Gala? If you stop spamming, go watch it on League Pass if you have it. If not, then you're out of luck. You're with us. Oh, he just got caught sleeping on the inbound pass. Jacoby Walter open 3 in the corner. It went in. 1 point lead for Toronto. Jaquez spinning, lobbing. It's Ware inside. Ware missing the shot. And it will stay with Miami as it last touched Brandon Ingram. Got to make that if you're Ware, man. 6-footer, not really contested. There was people around him, but no one is able to really contest Ware's shot with it being so high in the air. Foul away from the ball before that was inbounded, which means Miami's going to get a technical free throw and then side out. So Norman Powell stepping to the line. First game back after a 4-game absence due to illness. The All-Star makes the free throw. What's up, Alex? Appreciate you coming around. Davion Mitchell driving inside. His running floater doesn't go. Scotty Barnes back in for Brandon Ingram, directing traffic over to Sandro, who gets inside but misses. Collin Murray-Boyles, the rookie, flies in for the rebound, kick out Jacoby Walter. Back-to-back threes for the Jacoby Walter. 40% shooter, man. I told you off the open he could stroke it. Jaquez with a beautiful spin inside, but can't finish. Murray-Boyles with the defense and the rebound. They pitch it ahead to Scotty Barnes. Barnes inside, flips it up and in. Norman Powell drives on Walter, kicks it out for Mitchell. Davion, another three-pointer, comes up short. Collin Murray-Boyles with the rebound. Barnes now in transition, drop off. Oh, the passing. Toronto moving it so quickly. It's a 7-0 Raptors run. Miami calls timeout as the Heat now find themselves down 29-22. Shad pitches it up ahead to Barnes just a couple possessions ago. Then that one, Barnes, the quick swinger to Shed, who just basically taps it to the cutting Collin Murray-Boyles. You know what they say, if you play basketball, man, you give it up in transition, you run the floor, you can get the ball back. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. As we approach the final week of the regular season, we will be live for the game on Thursday in Toronto, Friday in Washington, and then Sunday against the Hawks as Miami fights for positioning in the NBA play-in, potentially can avoid the play-in and be in the playoffs with a win tonight, tomorrow, or Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, Sunday. They got to win all four. Got to win all four. But we'll be here for the play-in streams as well. Miami will be playing in the play-in or playoffs. They've already clinched that. back live here to end the first quarter. Been a kind of long first quarter. Hawkes on the wing. Can't get by Scotty Barnes. Now drops it down to Bam. Yakachonis is in. Back out to Hawkes. Pump fake. Jaime has to take a tough pull-up midi. Oh, how did Hawkes make that? Scotty Barnes to the rim. Yakachonis gets the stop. Heat up in transition. Norman Powell 3. Splash! So just like that, a 5-0 burst from Miami, and they're within 2. 4-3 of the first quarter. Both Toronto and Miami have made 4. Barnes inside. Blocked by Ware. What a rejection by the big fella. Miami in transition to the corner. Yakachonis, pump fake. Sets. 3. Oh, good look, but couldn't knock it down. Toronto up ahead. Yakachonis gets back into the play and knocks it out of bounds. That's what I love about what I've seen from Kasparas Yakachonis this year. Despite missing the 3, gets his head down, gets back on defense, and saves a potential bucket. Walter, curling 3, misses that one. Heat trail by 2, 40 seconds to go in this first period. Yakachonis drops it to Bam, his 3. Ooh, way off. That one was off as soon as it left his hand. Scotty Barnes now goes right into Ware's chest. Can't finish inside, but the ball's tipped out, and the Raptors get a second opportunity. Yakachonis staying in front of Quickley well, forces a tough step back 3 that he unfortunately makes. Shot clock turned off. 10 seconds to go in quarter number 1. 5 seconds. Hawkes throws up a wild shot. Good defense, Collin Murray-Boyles. That ends quarter number 1. Raptors lead 32-27. Back and forth affair here. That the Raptors lead because of a little bit more efficient shooting. Heat 11 of 28. Raptors 12 of 27. They've made one more 3. They made a couple more free throws. That's the difference. That is the difference. That is the difference. Been a interesting first quarter so far. I mean, anytime Davion Mitchell is your leading scorer, you're going to be a little bit surprised. 9 points on 9 shots. Tyler Herro really hasn't gotten into the action tonight scoring-wise. Larsson has 1 3, but missed a couple shots at the rim. Norman Powell off the bench tonight, just made a 3. Also has a free throw due to the technical. Andrew Wiggins had 5 points. Bam really hasn't done anything to this point. Had a couple of rebounds, but no buckets. Only taken 2 shots. Both of them been 3s. Both of them kind of off. We got 325 people watching. Hit that thumbs up icon. Come on, we're trying to get to 100 likes. We're at 70. Can we get 30 likes during this timeout? Help me out. Show me that you're happy and hit that thumbs up button, man. Hit that thumbs up icon at 79. Come on, let's get to 100. We're climbing, we're climbing, we're climbing. Hit that thumbs up button. Let's go. We're 81. We're climbing. Climbing. Oh, $2 super chat from Astronato? Is that how you say it? I think so. We'll show that here in just 1 second, but we are back into the second quarter. Miami with the ball. Bam, Ware, Hawkes, Yakachonis, and Powell. They tried to get to Norman Powell. He drives, floater, too strong. Barrett leading the charge. Finds Walter, open on the wing. Comes up short on that three. Long rebound, but it actually goes out of bounds and will stay with the Heat. Powell gets to the paint again and is absolutely rejected by Scotty Barnes. Goes out of bounds, stays with the Heat. But Barnes sent that one in the shadow well. They were showing the replay. I don't even know what happened. A whistle on Toronto. Shout out Candy Cane Santa. Let's go Heat. Let's go Heat. Even though I'm kind of rooting for the Heat to lose, I want them to get a higher draft pick. I'll always say let's go Heat. Yakachonis, pick and roll with Ware. Swings it to Jaime. 2 on the shot clock. Hawkes fires a 3. In and out. Scotty Barnes swinging it to Barrett. Barrett's been quiet tonight. Misses the 3 there. Good rebound Ware. Outlet Yakachonis. He's leading the charge for Miami. Finds the trailing Ware. Deep 3. Rattles it home. Kel'el Ware had a good game on Saturday against Washington. Already now with 3 rebounds and now 3 points. Barrett just missed a 3. Loads up another. No good. He gets his own rebound, though. Norman Powell didn't box out. And then he throws it away. Bam Adebayo with the steal. Bam pushing. Dropping it inside to Hawkes. Jaime turns around and puts it up and in. We're tied up at 32. Scotty Barnes to the rim. Oh, wow. Pretty drive and finish by Scotty Barnes. 9 points now for the former Florida State Seminole. Yakachonis. Good pump fake. Tried to drop it off to Powell. Kicked ball violation. Stays with the Heat. Powell, elbow jumper, misses. Kel'el Ware tracks on the rebound. He's been active early today. I like what I've seen from Ware. 5 on the shot clock. Powell driving. Foul. So 2 free throws coming for Norman Powell, I believe. Norman Powell makes the first free throw. Tied up at 34. Barnes just traveled with it. Turnover. Larsson has been quiet tonight. So is Bam Adebayo. Bam double teamed inside. Draws a foul, and he'll be going to the line for two. Bam Adebayo with no points, but chance to change that here by going to the line. Shout out Candy Cane Santa saying Herro's not been on his game half the season. Well, he hasn't been on the floor half this season. Probably start with that. Heat go in front for the first time in a long time. He 0-2 against the Raptors this season. Both those losses coming by double digits in Miami. Big 2-game stretch in Toronto tonight and Thursday. Raptors clinching onto that 6th spot right now. Heat currently last in the play-in race, 10th, game and a half behind Orlando, Philadelphia, and Charlotte. All three of those teams share the same record going into tonight's action. 7, 8, 9 seed. Hornets are on the road against the Celtics. Take a look at those scores as they continue to progress. Kickball on Bam Adebayo. It will be Raptors ball side out, all even at 36. Early 13-8 lead for Charlotte. On the road against Boston. Celtics, I don't think, have a ton to play for the final couple games of the year. The Pistons have essentially clinched the number 1 seed, and the Celtics hold a pretty sizable lead over the Knicks for the 2 seed. Triple, it's Jamal Shed stepping back from beyond the arc. It's the 6-3. A foul, it's Jacoby Walter. That's the 4th foul on Toronto, which means Miami will be shooting free throws the rest of the first half here. 8 minutes to go. Yes, it would. Extra official. Davion Mitchell back in. Jokic heads to the bench. Bam, corner 3. No. Kel'el Ware, another offensive rebound. He's been active tonight. Bam. Doubled. Lobbing for Ware. Ware can't tip it in. It's a tough shot, and he ultimately hits it out of bounds. It should be Toronto ball. Oh, maybe it was off Collin Murray-Boyles. Nope, no challenge. It's Raptors ball, and they get an easy bucket inside after Sandro had a little pump fake drive to the rim. Timeout Miami, 41-36. Raptors lead in this all-important game for the Eastern Conference standings. Who you got, Miami or Toronto? Bonsai going with Toronto. I got you exact. That's kind of how I feel. I feel like Miami will win tonight or Thursday. I have a hard time believing the Heat get swept by the Raptors. I have a hard time believing the Heat would sweep the Raptors. And then I think they probably beat the Wizards on Friday and then lose to the Hawks on Sunday. So I think the Heat go 2-2 to end the year. 1-1 against Toronto, and then 1-1 over the weekend. That's my prediction. Bonsai, I think you are correct. But, that's not going to happen. Even if the Heat beat the Raptors twice tonight, they get to play the Nets to finish the year. So, it's the chances of Miami avoiding the play-in are extremely thin. They need to go 4-0 and get a lot of help. Which is why, since Miami's going to be in the play-in no matter what, unless they go 4-0, which is extremely unlikely, I just want the Heat to lose and just be the 10th seed. So guess what? If the Heat win the play-in and get to the playoffs again like last year, sure, whatever, they did it. If not, highest pick in the lottery as possible. That's why I'm rooting for the Raptors to win this game. Back from the timeout, Wiggins has a 3 blocked. The Raptors have transition numbers. Jamal Shed slows it down. Now finds Collin Murray-Boyles inside for the easy layup. It's a 7-0 run for Toronto as they go back in front by 7. Ooh, Wiggins, baseline drive. Oh, he turns it over. Tough stretch for Wiggins after getting blocked on a 3 and then turning it over. It's actually a 9-0 Raptors lead or run from down 2 to up 7. Collin Murray-Boyles to the rack. Good defense. Adebayo gets the stop and rebound. He's pushing. Bam to the rim. Finishes. Pretty defense by Bam. Gave it up to Davion Mitchell. Got it right back and finished inside. Collin Murray-Boyles, driving, kicking, Barrett. Barrett's been bad tonight. Barrett dives inside as I say it, and 1. Wiggins gets called for a second foul. Yeah, he was off to a 1-for-6 start from the field, and before that, and 1. It's an 8-point lead for Toronto, their largest of the night. Davion Mitchell, drive, kick, Wiggins. Wiggins to the rim. Gets to the paint, finishes. He's now up to 7 points. Tyler Herro back in. Brandon Ingram looking to attack him. Swings to Sandro. His 3, good. First score of the game. I can never pronounce his last name. Just can't do it, no matter how much I try. So I just call him Sandro. It's his first name. Larsson trying to draw a foul. Doesn't get the whistle. Rebounded by Toronto. They look to take their first double-digit lead of the night. Brandon Ingram asking for a clear out. Wants to attack Wiggins. Swings it out to Barrett. Gets it back. Attacks baseline. Spins. Pump fakes. Fades away from 8 feet. And finishes. It's an impressive move by Brandon Ingram. He's a scorer, man. Knows how to get to his spots. He's long, hard to contest him, too. Larsson down the lane. Strip, turnover. Raptors have 3-on-1. Shed, pump fake. Layup. Oh, he smoked it. Rebound, Barrett. He puts it up and in. 13-point deficit. Miami timeout. Raptors are on a 19-4 run as Miami faces its largest deficit of the night. Raptors defense has been outstanding tonight. They forced Miami into 4 turnovers. Heat shooting under 30% from 3. Just barely 35% from the field. It's been a good defensive performance from Toronto, but that's how they win, man. They've got a top 10 ranked defense in the league. The last 2 times Miami and Toronto played, albeit long time ago, in the 305, Raptors held Miami under 100 points in both of those games, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Miami scored 96 on December 15th and 91 on December 23rd against Toronto. The Raptors just have that same kind of mold that the Magic have. The Raptors and Magic are built very similar, in my opinion. And what do I mean by that? They have big, long, athletic players at every position. Outside of Immanuel Quickley, they're 2-guard. RJ Barrett, 6'6", strong. They're wings. Scotty Barnes, 6'10", athletic, long. Brandon Ingram, 6'9", long. Yeah, Jakob Poeltl isn't the most athletic and biggest guy, but then off the bench, they've got Jacoby Walter, big, long, athletic guard. Collin Murray-Boyles, the rookie out of South Carolina, just an absolute demon. 6'7", 7-foot wingspan, unbelievable defensive player. It's like the same thing as Orlando. The Magic have so much size. Suggs, Black, Wagner, Banchero, Anthony Black coming off the bench. When Miami gets matched up against these teams that are long and athletic at every position, Miami has really struggled. Why? Because we are not a long athletic team. Even with Kel'el Ware out there on the floor, with his size, Miami is still undersized in the backcourt and on the perimeter. It's not so much the front court that Miami has issues with in terms of size. It's on the perimeter. Like Tyler Herro, Davion Mitchell, Norman Powell being forced to defend these other guards and wings like Barrett, Suggs, Bane, Ingram. That's where Miami has the issues. It's the long, athletic teams on the perimeter that give Miami issues. It's why we've struggled against Toronto and Orlando this year. But I don't think Toronto is capable of winning it all because they don't have that dog, that number one guy that can lead a team to a title. But it's a team that is built similar to Miami in terms of well-balanced, but they're just more athletic and bigger. Good set out of the timeout. Larsson just unfortunately in and out on the 3. Raptors up ahead. Barnes fouled. That's the second foul on Miami this quarter. Yeah, Buns, I don't think Toronto can even compete. And they're probably going to lose in 5 games in their playoff series too, whether they play Detroit, New York, Cleveland, or Boston. But they're even Toronto, in a 7-game playoff series, Miami probably loses in 5-6 games because their length and athleticism is just too much for Miami. We need to get longer and more athletic. It's why I want a lottery pick. I need one of those top talent, athletic guards or wings, man. 5 on the shot clock. Toronto going nowhere. Brandon Ingram hoists a really brutal shot. Good defense that time for the Heat. Bam Adebayo the other way in transition. Wiggins swings at the Herro. Herro back to Wiggs. Catch and shoot 3. Good! And 1! RJ Barrett gets the forearm of Wiggins. It's a 3-point play plus the foul. Wiggins now into double figures with 10. That's the deficit for Miami with 4:07 to go in the half. Larsson takes a seat on the bench as Jaquez checks back in. Wiggins converts the 4-point play. Heat were down 14. Trying to get it down more even. And then I think the Heat just got called for defensive 3 seconds. Bam Adebayo camped in the paint. Ingram will take the technical and make it. 10-point game. Once again. Scotty Barnes in the corner. 4 on the clock. Ingram, tough 12-footer. Man, he's a tough shot taker, a tough shot maker. Tyler Herro in the corner. Driving on Barnes. Kick out Wiggins. Open 3. Wiggins in and out. Wiggins has been a 40% three-point shooter this year. He's 2 of 5. Sandro, good position inside. Fouled by Tyler Herro. It's a late whistle, but it gets whistled. Herro with a little body shove is what they're calling. I don't know if I agree with that call. Despite me wanting the Raptors to win this game, I don't think that's a foul. But 2 free throws for Sandro. Hornets up 28-20 on the road in Boston. Important to note because they are a game and a half ahead of Miami in the standings. Hornets have 3 games remaining, including tonight. Miami 4. Herro stepping to the rim. Those Hornets, even though they're a game and a half ahead of Miami, their final 3 games on the road against Boston, New York, and Detroit. They play the top 3 teams in the East. Immanuel Quickley, drop off, Scotty Barnes. Wow. There's no one home for the Heat. Defense the story in this one. Miami going to give up 60-plus points again. Herro to the rim, draws a foul. Miami starting to get a little bit more to the line here. As Herro heads to the charity stripe, if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button. We're at 98 likes. Let's get to 100. We're 2 likes away. As Herro unusually misses the free throw. Come on. Hit that thumbs up icon. There we go. We got over 100 likes. Collin Murray-Boyles back in for Toronto. He's been fantastic tonight. Herro makes the second. He go to a 2-3 zone. Barnes gets it at the free throw line, goes up strong, but misses the layup. Rebound, Bam. Adebayo, trailing 3. Way off. Bam's been struggling with his threes tonight, man. He's now 0 for 5 from 3. All of them decent looks. 2 to play in the opening half. Collin Murray-Boyles. Push shot, no. No one on the weak side. Scotty Barnes, offensive putback and one. That's just bad effort by Hawkes and Davion Mitchell. I know Scotty Barnes is much bigger, but Bam contesting the push shot from Collin Murray-Boyles, and then Barnes just flies in from the weak side, and Hawkes and Mitchell just ball watching. And then foul. Just bad, man. Just bad, bad, bad. Scotty Barnes makes the free throw. It's a 15-point lead. Largest lead of the game. That's Davion Mitchell's third foul. Hawkes driving, spinning, turnover. Raptors out in transition. Ingram, Euro stepping to the rim. Heat down 17. Larsson at the line, makes the first. $15-point Raptors lead, 90 seconds to go in the first half. Collin Murray-Boyles inside. No good. Hawkes with the defense. Herro, pitch ahead to Wiggins. Wiggins spinning. Cut off and resets. Herro, drive, kick. Hawkes three. Too strong. Scotty Barnes with the rebound. Barnes swooping inside, drops it off. Barrett gets it now. And the Raptors get into their set. They want to get to Ingram, who's guarded by Herro. Bam shades over to give the help. Barnes now at the free throw line. Now Ingram gets it. Quick double. Kick out quickly. Quickly. 2 on the clock. Got a hoist. Fires up a wild shot. No good. Great defensive possession by Miami. 34 seconds to go. He can go 2 for 1 if they move quickly. Bam. Inside. Kick out. Herro. Pump fake. Herro now Euro stepping, swinging. It's Hawkes on the baseline, and Hawkes flips it up and in. Shot clock turned off. Heat down 13. That is likely going to be the deficit at its best for Miami. Raptors looking to make it a 15 or 16-point lead going into the break with a bucket here. Quickly, pick and roll. Barnes to the corner. Ingram out of bounds. So he steps on the out of bounds line. So Heat will actually get a chance now to climb closer before the break. 3.6 seconds remain. Herro, half quarter, no, gets it to Larsson at the buzzer, no. Thought Herro was going to launch the three, doesn't, gets it to Larsson, who misses the last second attempt. Heat down 13 at the break. We'll look at some first half stats here in a second, but grade the Heat's performance so far. I'm answering A because I want the Heat to lose. I just tweeted this out. And I truly believe this. Why are the Heat 0-5 against the Magic and have struggled against the Raptors through 2.5 games? They have long, athletic players on the perimeter. Miami needs to get bigger and more athletic players in the backcourt wings. It's why I desperately want Miami in the NBA lottery. I firmly believe that. If you want to follow me over on Twitter, by the way, at Nic_Rohloff. That's the tweet I just sent out. If any of you guys show love to me, liking, commenting, retweeting that tweet I just sent out, I'll give you a shout out on today's show. Greatly appreciated. Looking to grow the Twitter following. We post more content over there than even on our YouTube channel because I'm talking Heat basketball on the daily. Shout out Viper. Shout out Andre. Tyson Bryant, no antics. Heat down 64-51 at the half. We got Luke. We got Dandy Man. Big Tone. All showing love on Twitter. Appreciate y'all. I got you, hot dog. It's just, unfortunately, the truth that I've come to and why Miami struggles against these teams like Toronto and Orlando. It's these Toronto-Orlando teams, man. You see the first half stats as a team here. Heat just unable to get anything going offensively. I think it's because of that length that the Raptors possess. That's what I think. That's what I think. That's what I think. But we'll go through some stats here for Miami. I think Andrew Wiggins is the leading scorer for the Heat now. Team high 11 points on 4 of 8 shooting. Hawkes has 8 points off the bench. You're simply not going to win any game this year when Bam Adebayo has 4 points on 1 of 6 shooting and Tyler Herro has 5 points. So Bam and Herro can be argued as your 2 best players. Argued. Combining for, what is that? 5 points. What did Bam have? 4? So 9 points? Yeah, that's unacceptable. Davion Mitchell has the same amount of points as Herro and Bam combined. Not going to work. Norman Powell off the bench has 6. Made 1 3, but missed all 3 shots inside the arc. Just overall not very good. Overall not very good, man. And I just hope the Heat get a nice looking lottery pick. That's my hope. That is my hope. scrolling on Twitter, a lot of Heat fans are talking about the draft, man. It's pretty funny. People are saying AJ DeBan's going to love Miami. That's right. What else do we have to look forward to? Exactly. Look forward to the draft. That's all you can, man. That's all you can. Just hoping that this continues, to be honest. Like, I'm not even mad. I'm not mad. I hope it continues. I'd be more mad if the Heat came back and win. Man, oh man. Oh man, oh man. Oh man, oh man. Exactly, Joker. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Y'all excited for any of you guys like the Masters? I'm excited for the Masters this week. Masters this week has me really excited. Who do I think? Well, the March Madness is already over, KBM. Michigan won. Yeah, Edwards has just turned this pod on. It seems pretty quiet. Yeah, I mean, down 13 at the half, just waiting for the second half to get started. Just, I want the season to end more than anything. I want the season to end. I want the Heat to get a lottery pick, and I want to get lucky. Oh, Tyson. Come on, man. Yaxel, crazy athletic, man. Underboard can jump out the gym. 6'9" 3/4. Wingspan at 7'4". Verticals around 32 inches, so not crazy, but for that size and length, he's quick. Lenderborg's crazy, man. Oh, Joker, I'm going to disagree on Sturts. As much as I love Bennett Sturts, and I do love Bennett Sturts, like was my favorite player to really watch this year. I loved him at Drake the year prior. But the Heat do not need an I wouldn't say undersized, a below-the-rim guard. That's the last thing Miami needs. I think Sturts is very similar to Yakachonis, actually. Smart, high IQ, not the craziest athlete, would be a good shooter and facilitator, but that's not what Miami needs, man. Miami needs length, they need size, they need athleticism. So even though I love Bennett Sturts, I would not have him on my Heat big board. Like, I would just not even have him on it, period. Nah, I'm out on Nate Amen. I do not want Nate Amen. Skinny, scrawny, not the most athletic. Not in on Nate Amen, man. I'd take Yaxel. Danny Man, what about LeBaron Philon? That's my number one guy. If the Heat are in the 12, 13, 14 range, the number one guy I hope falls to Miami is Philon. I think he goes in the top 10 because I think he's ultimately he's a really good fit for the Milwaukee Bucks. So I could see the Bucks at pick 9 or 10, wherever they end up selecting, taking LeBaron Philon. LeBaron Philon is my number one guy that I want for the Heat. It goes Philon, Braden, again, Philon, Michael Brown. Even though I don't think Michael Brown slips, I put him on there at number 2. I would still take Philon over Michael Brown. Number 3, I have Braden Burries. He's like a Derek White clone. I don't know if he has superstar potential, which I know Heat fans want that, but Braden Burries is going to be a 10-year, really high-level player, I think, in this league. So I would have Burries 3, Lenderborg 4, and then I would have Adebayo Mara 5, the Michigan center. I really believe that he can be a dominant force in the NBA. Moves well, really good passer. He's got Zach Edey level size to rebound and defend. I really like Adebayo Mara. All right, draft talk will conclude for now as we get back into action here in this second half. Heat start with the ball down 13. Herro left alone, walks into a 3, and makes Toronto pay. So he get the second half started with a tray ball to pull within 10. Herro now with 8 points. Hasn't been that aggressive tonight, only his 4th shot attempt. Ooh, a lot of contact. And one, Scotty Barnes gets the bucket and the foul called on Larsson. It was a weird whistle. It was a delayed and one call. Let's see if the Heat challenge this. Larsson moved his head back like he got hit in the face. He did not. The Heat don't challenge. Barnes misses the free throw anyway, so just 2 points. Larsson the other way tried to drop it off to Wiggins. He couldn't corral the pass. Turnover. Jakob inside, finishes. They're trying to get to Bam. They can't. Swung to Herro. Herro to the rim. Is blocked, but a foul. And now Herro holds his hand, and it looks like he's shaken up. Herro still grimacing a bit. Hornets lead by 5 over Boston. 6 minutes to go. Now 7-point lead in that first half. Herro makes the free throw. 12-point game. He put on a bit of a press. Scotty Barnes at the free throw line, kicks it to the corner for Quickley. Quickley swings it to Barrett. Barrett, 2, 1, spinning. Travel. Turnover. Davion Mitchell with the defense forces a going the other way. Eighth turnover for Toronto tonight. Herro with 5 points early in this third quarter. Oh, Larsson just dribbled off his own foot, gets it back, now inside, loses out of bounds. It's a turnover. That was a sloppy possession for Pelle Larsson the entire way. Brandon Ingram in the corner. He'll launch a 3 right in front of the Heat bench. Mitchell stonewalled by Quickley. Kick out Herro. Herro splitting a double team and hits the little 6-foot floater. Herro's feeling it. 7 points in the first 2.5 minutes of this quarter. 12 points for Tyler on the game. Podol at the free throw line. Out to Barrett. Barrett attacking. Hits a little teardrop 8-footer. Heat have been unable to get the stops they have needed tonight. Raptors defense has been much better than Miami's. That's why it's a 15-point game. Larsson, pump fake the 3, works inside. Good kick to Wiggins. And Wiggins buries the triple. Wiggins with his third 3 of the night. Wiggins leading scorer for the Heat tonight, 14 points. Seven on the shot clock. Barnes, elbow jumper. That's not his game. Heat will live with that. Davion Mitchell directing traffic. Wiggins launches another 3. He's hot. Timeout, Toronto. Miami, a 6-0 run. Cuts it for 15-9. Wiggins torching his local team. Raptors need a timeout. Spam those fireball emojis. 4 of 6 from 3. Spam those fireball emojis. Spam those fireball emojis. Got pineapple KBM. Smorgs piping those fireball emojis. Bam, just not playing well tonight offensively. He's been actually pretty good on the glass. Just not been able to find his shot from deep tonight, and he's taking a lot of threes. All right, here we go. After the timeout, Heat down 9. Raptors have led pretty much the entire way tonight. Barnes working a pick and roll. Larsson hits the deck. Drop-off Podol. Another hard contact aside. And one. It's Podol again. And Larsson looks to take the worst of that contact. A lot of contact in that restricted area. And Larsson got hit to the deck, gets up, and then gets hit again. Missed free throw, though. Toronto missed their last 2. Oh, killer crossover. Davion Mitchell. But can't get a shot off. And Larsson's had a bad game. You guys know how much love I have for Pelle Larsson. Objectively, he has not been good tonight. Turning the ball over a lot. Missing some open looks. Been a little too aggressive defensively. Not a good night for Pelle Larsson. Barnes, double, drop-off pass, good cut. RJ Barrett to the rack. And now Wiggins is fouled. $13-point deficit for Miami. This is what it was at the half. Herro missing the open look from deep. Barrett inside, missing. Long rebound. Heat has it, and there is nobody back for Toronto. Herro gets an easy slam. $14 points for Herro, 9 here in the third quarter. Brandon Ingram trying to get downhill. Gets 2 feet in the paint, fades away over Wiggins. That is tough, dude. Davion Mitchell attacking Podol inside, missing the shot, gets his own rebound, kicks it to Herro, swung to Wiggins, one more Larsson, his three-pointer, and the struggles for Larsson continue tonight. Ingram walks into a three, splashes it home. 16-point Raptors lead. This is now the largest of the night. Heat need a timeout. If you haven't already, make sure you go subscribe to the channel. We got over 340 people watching. We'll be live on Thursday, Friday, and Sunday to close out the regular season, and we'll be live for how many postseason games there are, whether it's just the one play-in game, whether it's two play-in games, whether it's two play-in games and then a playoff series. We'll be live for it all, and we'll have videos all off-season long. Hornets of 1 on the Celtics with 2 to go in the first half. Got a super chat we'll show on screen, but hit that sub button as we try to get to 28K subscribers. I'm with you, New Gen NBA. I'm with you. I ain't going to be mad if this score holds. Ain't going to be mad if this score holds. A couple super chats we'll get on screen here in just 1 second. Halfway through this third quarter, Miami trails by 16. Do the Heat have a comeback in them? I don't think so, but maybe. Maybe we will see one. Maybe we will see one. Oh, there's a UFC event in Miami this Saturday? That's cool. UFC event on Saturday, Heat game on Sunday. How about that? Super chat from Ruski. God, I love Ingram. He's a dog for the Raptors. He's been very good tonight. He's been a pain in the Heat side all year long, too, in the early game. Spo needs the roster with his shortest player being 6'5", and he only has 3 players that are 6. The rest of them are 6'8" and above. Spo's nightmare. Appreciate the super chat, Dig Dog. I wonder if Spo will recognize after this year that if he is someone who prefers to play smaller, that he is just incapable of doing that because of the rest of the NBA. I'll tell you what, in the Heat's end of the season press conference, whenever that happens, I'd love to ask Spo and Pat Riley that question. Only if I could fly to Miami and get that question and get credentialed. RJ Barrett had a bucket inside, and then Wiggins fouled going into the rim. Wiggins with the free throws. 16-point game once again. Heat look like they're in a zone for the first time this half. Collin Murray-Boyles inside to the rim. Misses, but it's tapped in, but they're going to call offensive goaltending. They called offensive goaltending. Hawkes has the size advantage, backing down on Jamal Shed. Double comes. Wiggins with the kick out. And then Wiggins barrels into Collin, or is that Jamal Shed? And that's a charge. Well, new gen NBA, that would certainly be special. Be awesome. That would be awesome. I mean, yeah, there will be good players at 13 for sure. Jamal Shed with a triple, too strong. Norman Powell back into the game with the rebound. Whether it be Lenderborg, LeBaron Philon, Kareem Lopez, there will be guys out there. Hawkes on the wing. Norman Powell picks up a deep three, air ball. It goes out of bounds with 1.5 seconds on the shot clock. Heat will have a chance. Herro having a hard time getting it in. Get the Bam. Step back three. No. Tough shot at the end of the clock there. Sandro, corner three, good. 21-point game. Or, excuse me, 19-point game. Thought it was an 18 game before that. Raptors on a 14-4 run. Bam, push shot. Man, his night gets worse. Raptors 4-on-3. Ingram knocked away by Wiggins. Good defensive play by Wiggs. And then Wiggins is fouled on the floor. Will be side out. Bam, kick out, Powell, open, curling three, nothing falling for Miami. Raptors can open up a 20-point lead. Ingram, isolating on Hawkes. Drives left, kicks out, Jacoby Walter, corner three. That one falls short. Bam tries another three. Finally gets one to fall. Yeah, we got the second rounder. I think it's the best of Golden State, Charlotte, and Denver, though. So it'll be likely in the early 40s because of the Warriors' record not being good. So I would root for the Warriors to be bad, I think. Warriors being bad means higher second-round pick for Miami. It's the Heat can't pass Golden State in the first round standing, so it's not like you wouldn't move up in the first round because the Warriors winning. So Warriors losing means higher second round pick for the Heat. Right now, I think it's 41. Brandon Ingram misses a turnaround jumper. Yeah, right now it would be pick 41 for Miami. The way it works is it comes from Golden State. It is Miami gets the better of Denver and Golden State, second round pick from Charlotte. So wherever the Warriors' second round pick ends up, that's what Miami gets. Right now it's 41. Which I kind of, that range is solid. You can get like a nice backup big potentially if you don't take one early, like a Ruben Chinaloo, a JoJo Tugler, if he goes to the draft, Subi Ejiofor, maybe a Terrace Reed, who knows. Powell makes a couple free throws. 15-point game as the Heat try to battle back, down 19 just a second ago. Oh, the Raptors throw it away. No, they save it. And now Barrett corner three. No. Wow. All right, he have a chance to pull closer after being down 19. They trailed by 13 at the half, can get to that number once again here. Powell to the rim, running floater, gets the roll. So just like that, it's back to a 13-point game. Timeout, Toronto. A lot of timeouts in this one. Both coaches looking to nip runs from the other team in the butt early. Raptors need a timeout. Spam those fireball emojis, forcing a TO. Shout out to Morgan Dig Dog, Pineapple spamming those fireball emojis. Yeah, good point. I wonder how Vlad Golden feels. Just the night after his alma mater he played on a year ago, the Michigan Wolverines won the national championship. Heat putting on a press. Raptors, hard time getting it in. Oh, the Heat almost got a steal. 13-point game. Heat go to a 1-3-1 zone, it looks like. Five on the shot clock. Scotty Barnes, free throw line, kick out. Sandro three. No, left it short. But an offensive rebound. Sandro down the lane, no. Rebound Miami. Yakachon pushing. Trailing Powell, deep three. It's a bad shot, man. And Scotty Barnes clears the board. Barnes, not a good shooter, left alone from three, of course. Jaquez turns it over. Raptors have 4-on-1. Scotty Barnes with a dunk. And the shot clock is turned off as the Heat are down 18. And Norman Powell just dribbled it out of bounds. Oh, man, that's funny stuff. 3 seconds on the clock. Jamal Shed throws up a half quarter. Nope. That is going to be the end of quarter number 3. 12 minutes remain in this one. Heat down 18. Put the fours up. Fours up. Heat with a loss tonight, clinch a play-in spot, and are unable to get to the playoffs. Update in that Hornets game, they lead Boston by 6 at the half. Miami game and a half behind Charlotte. Remaining games for the Hornets. Celtics, Pistons, Knicks. Heat with a loss tonight, inch closer and closer to that 10th seed in the Eastern Conference. Just so obvious that Miami is not going to be capable of competing with a team in an NBA playoff series. Just poor play from the Heat. But what is new, right? This is what we expect. This is who they are. Raptors start the fourth quarter with the ball. And the fourth quarter begins with a couple misses, and Kel'el Ware gets a rebound. Ware's been good tonight. Give him credit. Obviously hasn't meant much, but I think he's been good. Norman Powell kicking. It's Yakachonis from the left wing. Too strong on the three. Ball kicks right out to Norman Powell, and he misses an open look from deep. Wow, foul inside. Poto almost had an unbelievable and one. Instead, it'll be free throws. Forgot to show this super chat. KBM, did you hear the 2026 World Cup song, Lighter? I have not. I have not heard that. Miami gets the first overall pick. Who you taking? Darren Peterson. Poto splits the pair. I would take Darren Peterson. I'm willing to bet right now, if Miami had the number 1 overall pick, they would take Cam Boozer. Not who I would take. That's who I think Miami would take. But I would take Peterson. Missed three again. Norman Powell. Raptors in transition. Layup. 21-point game. Larsson driving. His high-arcing floater banks home. Kingston Flemings with a second pick. No chance. Poto floats it up. No good. Rebound to Miami. Yakachonis attacking. What a pass to Powell. It's worked around the Hawkeyes. Left wing 3. No. Barrett the other way. Draws a foul. He's going to the line. I would take Boozer over Debansa. I'm lower on Debansa than most. As RJ Barrett misses the front end. I just like Debansa's defense is really bad. And I know people are going to roll their eyes and say, well, the Heat need a leading guy on offense. I understand that. But Debansa, I don't think can be a number 1 or number 2 on a championship team. Because that defense is just so bad at BYU. He's real, and his effort on that level or that side isn't good either. Kalaware blocked. I get it. You could say he's conserving energy for offense because he was the entire BYU offense once Richie Saunders got hurt. But man, I just don't like what I saw from a defensive side of the ball. It's just not very competitive. And when you look at Boozer, look at Caleb Wilson, Darren Peterson. Like, those guys can make plays defensively. They competed defensively. And I think all 3 of them have maybe not as much offensive upside, but close enough to make it me want to go the other way. Barrett inside. Drops off the Podol. Layup, 22-point deficit. Exactly. Like, that is my one concern about Debansa, as Bonsai points out. Like, Miami already has an issue defending on the perimeter. It's something we have to change by getting longer athletic guards and wings. Yeah, Debansa's athletic in a guard-wing hybrid, but are you really wanting to make if you get the number 1 overall pick, by the grace of the lottery, would your number 1 pick really be a guy that is going to not solve any potential issue with your perimeter defense? Like, I'm not saying Darren Peterson's going to be a lockdown defender, but he's not going to be a liability like I think Debansa could be. And we know Boozer's best quality might be his defense at his length and athleticism. You say he has the size to be a really good defender, but there's been no proof in his entire high school, AAU, or one-year college career that he has any intention of being a good defensive player. His effort level on that side of the ball is not good. Like, I get people will be infatuated with his offensive ceiling, and I get it. It's really, really high. But his lack of effort on the defensive side of the ball makes me concerned, and it's why I would rather go in such a close-knit, tight race of who's the better prospect with the guy that I think has less holes and liability at the next level, which is why I would take Peterson 1, Boozer 2. Heck, I might even consider Caleb Wilson because that dude's a freaking freak athletically, dude. Caleb Wilson's a freak, dude. I watched him in person play my alma mater, St. Bonaventure. Dude, his ability to switch defensively and help on the weak side, get his hands in the passing lanes. The three-point jumper is a concern, but his finishing rate, tremendous. That 15-foot midi is on lock. Wilson intrigues me a lot, man. See, like, I don't want to be mean, hot dog, but saying Drew Peterson or Darren Peterson is weak and fragile, that's not true at all. Like, he dealt with a hamstring injury, so he pulled his hamstring. That happens, and he tried to play through it. He has never had an injury history in his pre-college career, and he played 32 minutes a night in the final 10 games of the Jayhawks season. So the minutes, like not wanting to play, I just think these things are way overblown. I don't think he's injury prone whatsoever. Just because you get one hamstring injury right as the season begins doesn't make you an injury prone player. What are the odds we trade Herro in the offseason? I would do it. That is what I would try to do if someone would be willing to take him. I give it a 15% chance Miami doesn't. Because they'd have to find a trade partner, and Miami would actually have to look to trade him. And I just don't know if they would do that. 15% chance, in my opinion. Powell knocks down a left wing three. Let Powell walk and extend Herro. I'm not extending Herro. I am letting Norman Powell walk. That is an absolute. I mean, I'll say it right now. If the Heat extended or re-signed Norman Powell, I would be furious. There is only one scenario that I am okay if the Heat if re-signed Norman Powell, and it's if Miami actually trades for Giannis. If the Heat were actually serious about blowing up the roster and getting better, and they made the blockbuster trade to get Giannis, and Tyler Herro was included in that deal, which he would have to be contractually because he makes $30 million, then yeah, I am going to be okay with giving Norman Powell like a 2-year deal to bring him back, because with obviously Giannis and Bam in that front court, if you made that trade, you would need backcourt shooting and scoring. And as much as Norman Powell drives me nuts, he is someone that I think would play really well next to Giannis, because Giannis would be such a, obviously, force on the offensive end, generating so many people collapsing the defense that Norman Powell would get so many open looks from deep. Only scenario I'm bringing Norman Powell back. Miami down 21. They called timeout again. Jay says, why would Milwaukee want Herro? I don't know. Did you see the report today from Shams? Shams said that the Heat offer that was Herro, Ware, 4 first-round picks, because they found a way to add another one in a 3-team deal, in Rozier's salary. So it would have been Rozier, Herro, Ware, and 4 first-rounders. The Bucks were apparently really contemplating and close to taking it, but ultimately decide not to, in hopes that they get a better offer for Giannis potentially in the offseason if Antetokounmpo does request a trade. So apparently Miami was close to getting a deal done with Milwaukee for Giannis before the deadline, but it didn't happen. So maybe they will spin the block, and maybe the Bucks are interested. I have no clue. Oh, man. The Heat stink. Heat stink. I think we're going to be in the ping-pong ball range. Final 3 games of the year. Miami will be in Toronto again on Thursday, in Washington Friday, and then closing the season at home on Sunday against the Hawks. Heat with a loss tonight, which is all but inevitable, will officially clinch a spot in the play-in because they would be unable to get past the Raptors and Hawks, which means you would be at best the 7 seed, even if you win out the rest of the way. So the Miami Heat will be in the play-in for the 4th straight year. With this loss, the Heat have now clinched a spot in the NBA play-in for the 4th straight year. Well, the Raptors are challenging, up 24. Can you just guys let this game end? Let's end this game, guys. Let's mutually agree that this game's over, and let's end it. If you have any thoughts on the Miami Heat, NBA prospects, future of the Heat, questions, super chat, get your thoughts on screen. We'll talk about it as a collective unit. That's the best I got for you in the final 6 minutes of this game. Talk about what's gone wrong, what the Heat can do better in the future. Get your thoughts on screen. Super chat's the way to do that. Ugh. Koa Peter Yaxel, I'd prefer Lenderborg for the Heat. I think Pete's a better athlete and defender, but Lenderborg's got great size as well, good athleticism, and is way better offensively. Pete is so bad offensively that he could borderline be unplayable. Honestly, Collin Murray-Boyles on the Raptors is what Koa Pete's role would be in the NBA. Off the bench, defensive, versatile, chess piece almost, that could play the dunker spot and maybe pass it, but not a lot of optimism with his shot. That jumper is broken. Wiggins spinning inside, floats it up and in. 22-point game with 4.5 to play. Jacoby Walter lobbing it to Scotty Barnes. Barnes has Herro on him. Quick spin, Barnes layup. That's just too easy, man. They get Herro on him and an easy spin bucket. Goodness gracious. Herro just took a logo 3. Not that it matters. I mean, it's game's over, but like this team is so checked out, man. Heat out and running. Wiggins to the rim. Fouled. Just tweet this out. He looked mentally checked out late in this game. Wouldn't be surprised if he got blown out again on Thursday night against the Raptors. Kobe Walter to the corner at Shed. 4 to play. Barnes. Been phenomenal tonight. Barnes driving on Jaquez. 8-footer fadeaway good. Celtics lead by 1 over the Hornets now. LaMelo Ball, 34 points halfway through that third quarter. Brandon Ingram, pull-up midi. No. Bam, free throw line floater. No. Got his own rebound. Out of bounds it goes. If you're Miami, might as well just pull it out. Why are the Raptors calling a timeout? Toronto's pissing me off, bro. Just end the fucking game. Just end the game, man. Why are we calling timeout? 25-point game. We've already taken the 2 media timeouts necessary in the fourth quarter. Let's get this shit rolling, dude. Nothing worse than doing a watch party in a game that's a blowout. I'd argue, like, even when Miami wins by, like, 20 or 30 points, like, it's not fun. Major says Wiggins, Norman, and Jovic should trade. Well, Norman Powell, you don't have to trade. He's a free agent. So, Miami, I guess I would do Wiggins, Herro, and then Jovic if you can. Jovic, Herro, and Wiggins if you can. Norman Powell is a free agent. I'm not bringing back any of them. If it was up to me, I'd let Norman Powell walk for nothing, and then I would try to trade Tyler Herro. But I don't know if there would be any interest in Herro on the trade market. I really don't know if there would. Bench players come on the floor for Toronto, as well as Miami. Vlad Golden minutes. Yakachonis as well. We had Jamison Battle, the lefty. Speaking of Jamison Battle, it's the pull-up midi. Oh, we got Mogbo in the building. I like Mogbo. Second-round pick for Toronto out of San Francisco a year ago. I was intrigued with him, man. Shad Johnson gets the layup inside. Who do we blame the finger at tonight? No one. I'm happy about the loss. I want to be losing games. I want to be in the NBA lottery. I want to be the 10th seed in the play-in and lose our first game. It actually doesn't matter if they lose the first or the second, because if they're the 10th seed, it just goes back to the regular season. Vlad Golden block, called the goaltend, actually. I don't know about that one, but okay. Yeah, that is possible if a team that is in the luxury tax or close to going over the salary cap and they want to sign Norman Powell, they'd have to do a sign and trade if they needed to give him a contract that they needed to. So it is possible to do a sign and trade with a team for Norman Powell and get a second round pick in return. It's possible. It's hard to project that because, well, he's not on the roster and who knows what happens, but Trevor Keel's missing a 3. Minute and a half to go. Slauson inside, blocked by Johnson. Norman Powell makes about $21 million. Grady Dick, former first-round pick out of Kansas. He's kind of out of the rotation for the Raptors. Jameson Battle lines up a deep 3. No. Keshad Johnson in transition. Man, I'll tell you what, no matter when Keshad Johnson comes in and plays, whether it's in the final 2 minutes of a blowout or he actually gets real minutes, his energy level is unbelievable. Like, he is going full tilt 1,000% at all times. I respect it. I mean, he's not a good basketball player at the NBA level, but I do respect it. I do respect it. Look at Myron Gardner play hard too, man. Like these bench guys play so hard and like they're fouling with a minute to go for no reason. Like I get it. But my goodness, do they play hard. Heat get a steal. Myron Gardner now to the rim. Up and under layup. No. Rebound. Battled for. Picked up by Toronto. Pitch ahead to Grady Dick for the slam. Yakachonis airballs a floater. Rebound Vlad Golden saves it right to Toronto. Slauson brings it up. Raptors just going to play keep away, probably take a 24-second violation. Well, now the Heat foul. They piss me off so much. Like, why? Like, seriously, why are you fouling down 24 with 17 seconds left? Just give it the fuck up, man. Heat are going to lose this one in big fashion again, clinching a spot in the play-in. No playoffs. Naturally for Miami, Heat would have to win 1 or 2 play-in games on the road. Turnover on Miami, that's going to do it. Heat lose 121-95. Heat putting on a press. These guys are fucking unbelievable. What is Myron Gardner doing? Myron Gardner's a psychopath. I mean that. That guy's a loose cannon. Myron Gardner is a loose cannon, dude. Well, 0-3 against the Toronto Raptors. Heat clinch a play-in spot. No playoffs unless they win the play-in tournament. Gotta have to head to the play-in for the 4th straight year. See you tomorrow with a video. Thursday live stream. Peace.